Who would have thought that after starting 1-5, the Baltimore Ravens would be able to turn it to this? This is so crazy, man. Like, the Baltimore Ravens are in first place in the AFC North. We over 500 for the very first time. Last week's games, they could not have gone any better they could have gone even better if the Chiefs would have lost too. But the Bills lost. Oh, that was a celebration right there. But more importantly, the Bengals, they lost. But then the Steelers, they lost. And that gave us the layup so we could take care of business against them Jets, even though it was a super stressful game. Woo! Man, that was a tough one. But they got it done. And the Baltimore Ravens, like, if it all ended today, if the regular season was finished today, it's crazy, all Baltimore Ravens, they would be at the crib for a playoff game. These boys started off 1-5. It was looking like it was a wrap. It was looking like things were going to be done. But these boys, they dug themselves into a deep, deep hole. But they climbed out of it. And now the Baltimore Ravens literally control their own destiny. Now, when it comes to a number 1 and number 2 seed, that probably ain't happening. But the Baltimore Ravens, if they want to get in the playoffs, they can get in. They got 2 games against the Bengals coming up. They got 2 games against the Steelers coming up. They got games against the Patriots and the Packers. So you're going to have some tough tasks in these last, 6 games. It's going to get real, man. Even more real than it already is. But as long as you just continue to stay the course, do what you've been doing. Well, the offense, they're going to have to be a little bit better because that thing been ugly. But it's so nice to say that our Baltimore Ravens are officially back. So with all Ravens being in first place in the AFC North, they cannot take their foot off the gas at all. As a matter of fact, they need to mash it down that much more because this Thursday got a big game coming up against the Cincinnati Bengals, and that team is going to look much different than they've looked pretty much all year because they are getting Joe Burrow back. Let's read the report from Adam Schefter. It says, Bengals head coach Zach Taylor said he anticipates that quarterback Joe Burrow will play Thursday night versus the Ravens, and that really comes as no surprise because he started practicing, about a week and a half ago, and we figured he wasn't going to play in that first game, but his second game being back, going against the Ravens, you knew he was going to show up for this one. So we welcome Joe Burrow back to Baltimore again with open arms, and hopefully we can get those arms closed on him and bring him down for multiple sacks, especially because our pass rush, we've been looking a little better. Shout out to Draymond Jones, good stuff. But anyway, also from that game, it was announced that Bengals head coach Zach Taylor told reporters that T. Higgins and Trey Hendrickson will not play Thursday night versus the Ravens. So one of the Bengals' best players on offense, out. One of the Bengals' best players on defense, out. The game, in my opinion, is still going to be a challenge. This game, in my opinion, is still going to be tough. In this game, in my opinion, the Baltimore Ravens, they will need to really come with it. And we're going to get, again, another test to see exactly how much of a turnaround this defense truly has had. Because now the competition, it gets a whole lot tougher. And in other news, former Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker, he had a tryout with the Saints today. We know, of course, Justin Tucker, he served his 10-game suspension this year, and it's done now. So he is free to sign with any team. If they want to bring him on, they can. So with the Saints, with them trying out kickers, I guess this season is not technically done, but it's pretty much done. So I would have to figure that this was not only an audition for the remainder of this season, but possibly going into next season too, so they can get their kicking situation sorted out. But we'll see what happens with that, if anything. Now we reach my favorite part of the videos where we get to hear from you. Send an email to teamkeepitclean@gmail.com if you want to take part in it, or if you want to show the channel a little extra support, you can go to patreon.com/Ingravenvids, become a Team Keep It Clean Patreon, and send your question in a DM on there. First questions came from my guy, Jason, who is a Team Keep It Clean patron. Appreciate you, my friend. He said, the Steelers have a hard schedule upcoming. We need to take care of business and win the division. That's true. We all agree. He said, I think that's why EDC and the front office haven't made any moves. They are content with winning the AFC North as a form of success. Well, that is a form of success, and certainly this year, after how this year started, that would be a big form of success for these Baltimore Ravens. But the bigger point and the bigger issue is that the success cannot stop there. Next question came from my guy Zacheray. He said, what's up, Ingraven? Do you think Kyle Hamilton is just as important to the Ravens as Lamar is? Because, yes, you ain't even got to say no more. Yes. Well, he's right up there. Maybe not as important as Lamar Jackson, but he is like right up there. Like, I mean, I guess I can't say yeah, because Lamar to the offense, because how everything goes through him, and if he's on point, then the offense usually always on point too. But if Kyle Hamilton, if he's not on point or he's out, then we are looking around the defense. Hey, what's happening right here? If he's being used incorrectly and stuff like that, it's like, hey, what's going on? So I can't say as important as Lamar Jackson, but he is like right there. He's super duper Kyle for a reason. But anyway, let me continue with what he said. He said, it's because whenever he's not doing what he's supposed to do, everything just goes downhill, and it's not any fault to himself, but just the pieces around him, or he's not able to be the game changer that he is. Well, there you go. He said, and is it just me, or do you think that Keaton Mitchell reminds you a lot of Chris Johnson from the Titans? I'm saying this during the Jets game. That's because they went to the same school. That school don't produce nothing but speed, man. Anyway, he also said, this offense is hard to watch, so it gives me time to ponder a lot of things. Yeah. Wasn't nothing much going on with Ravens offense in that game, so yeah, you had plenty of time to think. Next question came from my guy Omar. He said, hey, Ingraven, hope all is well with you and the family. Let's celebrate the win. I understand that the coverage and the narrative around Lamar Jackson's play these past 3 games regarding his lack of running, but I'm perfectly fine with it. Relying on Lamar to consistently run the ball to convert short or medium third downs during the regular season is not a good offensive strategy. I agree. Obviously, get it how you get it. Make sure it gets done. But my issue, something that we brought up maybe a month and a half ago, I just hate how this offense is just predicated on the quarterback having to be able to run the ball. If the quarterback cannot run the ball in the offense, they don't move. And Lamar Jackson is showing that again. It got highlighted for me when Cooper Rush, when he started that game against the Rams. I'm like, oh my goodness. I came to that realization like, wow, that's a big yikes right there. But Lamar, he showed it in that game yesterday. Like he wasn't running like that. And the offense, they weren't really moving like that. And there was some other reason why they weren't moving too, but it's like, oof, because we know a lot of times he'd end up getting a conversion, getting a first down, getting a chunk of yards from running around. So anyway, continuing, he says, can he do it? Yes. Will it cause extra hits and possibly more nagging injuries? Yes. For the Ravens to have a real chance if they make the playoffs, the team needs Lamar in the best physical condition possible. Once the playoffs come, he can open it up as much as needed. My question to you is, do you think that it's wise for Todd Monken to pace Lamar's workload during the regular season, or do you think otherwise? If you're talking about workload as far as the run plays and I guess the lack thereof, I think so, especially this season. In previous seasons, nah, because he would be fine. But this season, he been beat up. And you know he's hurting, man. You know he is hurting. He is hurting and injured because there's a difference. But he is both of them all in one, which is it's just rough, man. And he said, as always, I appreciate your insight, my brother. No, I always appreciate you. Lamar is lying. Next question came from my guy Derek. He said, what's up, Ingraven? Hope this email finds you well. I know I said in my last email that I wasn't sure if I was tripping, that Lamar doesn't look himself. After this week's game, it's so undeniably clear that number 8 is hurt. I don't care what he says. He had at least 3 or 4 chances to run, and he didn't even consider it. The runs he did attempt to make, he got caught. Lamar literally looks like a shell of himself, completely night and day from last year. And the culprit, the offensive line. The same O-line that can't get a stop, let alone keeping our guy upright. All Lamar's injuries are lower body. Lamar is a freak of nature, but one of the things that makes him electric and lethal are his legs. You got to protect the investment by any means necessary. Lamar better demand the front office replace the entire offensive line. Number 79, it's been real, but you got to go too. Linderbaum safe though. Ooh, that boy said Ronnie Stanley got to go. Ooh, he said Ravens front office do better. Don't RG3, my man. Ooh. Yeah. We see what life looks like without number 8. Not a life I want to live in. P.S. He said, I just want to manifest going undefeated the rest of the season and really making a run at this year's Super Bowl. So, hey, then if they did that, then a lot of the offensive line might not go nowhere. But anyway, he said, Todd Monken isn't really the problem. You really can't discount the fact that the line has just been hot garbage, which a good deal is his fault. Can't get pushed vertically and just looks like an AU line versus a paid NFL line. We were putting up almost 40 points a game. You can't do that with a trash OC. We all know what that looks like. Be grateful for what we have because it could look a lot worse. I need more Keaton Mitchell and Tez Walker on the field. That was not like, again, Tez Walker, he don't do nothing but, again, big catches. Big catches. He don't get many catches. He don't get many chances, many opportunities, but he makes the most out of everything given to him. And Keith Mitchell, y'all already know what time it is over there. He said, let your playmakers make plays. And just like T. Higgins is going to be on Thursday, I'm out. Next question came from High Ground. He said, first off, I just want to say you're the GOAT of this Ravens content, especially the game streams. I always tune into them. I appreciate you. The GOAT thing? No, not us at all. But I appreciate you rocking with the channel, man. He said, now for the question. If and when we let likely walk. Oof, that boy said if and when. Not if or, but he said if and when. Anyway, he said we let likely walk. Should we draft the tight end? Yeah, you would have to. Because if you let likely walk, you ain't got no tight ends left. Because Mark Andrews, he's a free agent. Charlie Cola, he's a free agent. So, yeah. But anyway, he said, because I think I found a suitable replacement in Kenyon Sadiq. He's 6'3", 245 with 4'4", 4'5 speed. Great route running. Not the best blocker, but likely isn't either. He's an elite route runner, can line up everywhere. Sticky hands, just an all-around great athlete. He also plays on Oregon, so he's playing competition, not scrubs. He's projected to go to the Chiefs as a mid-round pick, which I pray that doesn't happen, as he would cook any linebacker we put on him. That would make sense though, with them Travis Kelce most likely retiring. But if you let Isaiah Likely walk, he could end up on the Chiefs. And boy, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Likely taking the place of Travis Kelce. Oh, Chiefs fans will love him. They will love Likely because that boy, like, he got it, man. So, oof, boy, man. Anyway, he said, I pray that doesn't happen because he would cook any linebacker we put on him. He said, maybe some Ravens magic will cause him to fall to us as he's in the 15 to 32 range. This is my first time sending a question. Sorry for the long one. Let's blow out these Jets. Well, we did beat the Jets. Blow out? No, not necessarily, but we got the job done. That would certainly be something right there. It all just depends on how everything shakes out. We'll see if they try to keep Likely, could try to keep him on a cheap deal because this season ain't been going as lovely as we hoped it would have, or if they try to keep him on, because that's a possibility too. And then Charlie, there's so many possibilities right now. So I guess everything just depends on how the tight end room shakes out. This question came from my guy Chauncey. He said, by the time you read this, maybe we'll have more details, but if they rush Joe Burrow back for Thanksgiving, is it safe to say they hate us so bad that they want to try and spoil our postseason hopes again? No, I think it's a mix of that, but it's Joe Burrow. It's their starting quarterback. So they want to try to have him out there so they could try to have a shot as best they possibly can to do something. And hopefully we can continue to shut that down and we can just let Joe Burrow, he going to come back. All right, cool. He going to be out there for the Thanksgiving game, but he ain't about to do nothing to us. So hopefully this defense, they keep him and everybody else on that Bengals offense on lock, and we just run away with the division. He also said, I just don't see the reason in rushing back an injury-prone quarterback to put behind the same O-line when you're 3-8. Yes, hey, because you got a shot. You got a shot. They just, for them, it's a very, very long shot. Everything would have to crumble. Literally everything would have to crumble for the Bengals to be able to get in. And I don't see that happening. But he said, anyway, like hopefully Joe Burrow will be, I'm out of the playoffs. Next question came from my guy Jarvo. He said, another ugly win, and yet again on offense struggle. Defense still playing lights out and creating turnovers. Pass rush still need to improve, in my opinion. I know it won't happen, but we still need to make a change on the offensive line. Didn't like the rush push with Mark Andrews on third down instead of giving it to Henry. I agree 1,000,000% on that one, Jarvo. He said, Lamar seemed uninterested today and seemed a little off. Good to see Keaton. Yeah, he was a little off. He said, good to see Keaton still getting touches and glad to see Tez walk out there. Need to use Derrick Henry more in the passing game like we did today. I agree. Oh, yeah. I love that so much. He said, if this team can't score in the red zone, we're not going far in the playoffs if we get in. Our biggest plays came from pass interference calls. We haven't scored 30 in weeks. Bears and Patriots handle business with beating the Bengals and Steelers, and by that, we are at the top of the division. And if the playoffs started right now, we will be facing the Chargers in the playoffs. Ooh, little brother and brother game again. What would that be, like round 4? Because they played once in the regular season. That year where I think Terrell Suggs won Defensive Player of the Year. That was a Thanksgiving game that they played in the regular season. They obviously played in the Super Bowl. They played a couple years ago. That's when Zay Flowers had that handoff for a touchdown. When I know a lot of people thought he should have downed it, but I was glad that he ran in for a touchdown. And then, I think it will be round 4, I believe, unless I missed the game. And I know y'all will let me know if I missed the game. So if I missed the game, please, yes, inform me. Anyway, He said, watching the Cowboys versus Eagles and seeing how Jalen has so much time in the pocket is beautiful to watch, and watching Pickens catch big-time catches and being a force at the receiver position lets me know what we need as a team. We might face Flacco when we play the Bengals because there's no real reason to bring Joe Burrow back. Well, he's back. He's back. But anyway, he said, Ravens love Lamar because he sells tickets, but they are not fully invested in him, in my opinion. Ooh, boy. That boy Jarvo talking now, man. Let me scoot up for this one. Okay, now. Oh, boy. He said, Team Keep It Clean. Enjoy your family. Be thankful and grateful with what you have because someone wishes that they were in your shoes, rather if you believe that or not. That's true. That's true. It's very, very important to always be grateful for everything. And not just on the last Thursday of every November. You should be grateful all the time. All the time. Every single day. And I appreciate you bringing that out because, yeah, a lot of stuff that we may complain about, a lot of stuff that we may, oh, man, why is this like this? Like that? It's okay to have them complaints, but it's important to remember, like, what you're complaining about, oh, boy, that will make somebody's life. We'll be okay. Next question came from my guy, Chaz. He said, what's up, Team Keep It Clean? Hope everyone is doing well on the break. Looking at the whole entire season, it has me wondering and thinking about what could potentially happen. Game 1, we are on fire, and we look like the best team in the league. Offensively, it looked like we couldn't be stopped. Then we beat ourselves. It was a devastating loss, and then we were hit mentally with the narrative that followed us for the last 5 years. We can't win the big game. Then we go on a losing streak, and it seems like all hope is gone. We talk about adjustments, and we need to do this and that. I think we have. Hear me out. I asked, why was Mike Green not playing as much? And 2 weeks later, we trade Adafe away to give Green more reps while adding a safe move with getting a safety to fix the back end of the defense. We are getting healthy, and we're winning, and we are not even a good team yet, which means I believe that we will reach the peak of this team at the right time. We will get back to first 3 quarters of Buffalo Bills team soon. I really believe that we are okay, and I know we are. Sorry I was so long, but I had to get this one across. I am out. I like that. And that, of course, would be what we want because we've talked about how this team, like I saw one of my guys say on Twitter, he was like, man, how is it possible for a team to peak in week 1? He was referring to that Ravens and Bills game. But this team right now is making improvements in different ways, not the sexiest ways, but they are making improvements because the defense, again, they obviously improved. But the Ravens just, the mental part of the game, they've improved so much in my opinion, and that doesn't get talked about like ever. Because if you noticed, in each one of these 5 wins that they've gotten ever since the bye, in every single one of those games, they've went down. Some of them, well, maybe one of them, they went down by multiple scores, but the other team has scored first in every single game. But the Ravens obviously responded, and they responded in big ways because they won. They've been holding these teams down to I think around 20 points a game, maybe a little under that, but they have been doing what they got to do on defense. The offense has been doing just enough, and they ain't even fully clicking yet. We know Lamar ain't all the way healthy. We know how the offensive line is, but they ain't even, and we know a lot of the play calling can be like, ooh, what are we doing? But they ain't even clicking all the way. So hopefully this is a sign of improvements to come. But we still getting it done while we still making improvements, and that will be a nice way to go into the playoffs just like that and peaking at the right time. My thoughts on this nasty, ugly win again for the Ravens. Next question came from my guy, Gerald, and I see you send it to the right email this time, my friend. I ain't forget. Anyway, he said, what's going on, Uncle? I'm hoping that you are having a safe, lovely day. Same goes for the family. I appreciate you. He said, by the way, thank you for reading the messages. I will probably not send an email again for a while, but I'm very happy that we got the win. But I am not happy about it based off the convos that we was talking about. It still shows, even against the New York Jets, like the offensive line needs to have a change. Like, dog, I'm so sick and tired of number 77. Every time I see him, he makes me wish I could sucker him. But thankfully, I have self-control, and I'm not a bad person, but he needs to be benched for Emory Jones for sure. But the issue is John Harbaugh being stubborn alongside with his ego will not let it happen. So we will bench number 72, which from what I've seen, he did a better job today. Also, Mr. Tyler Linderbaum, who was trying to get paid like the best center in the world, wasn't good at all today. Either he held on to that play where Keith Mitchell got 30, 40 yards, but also Todd Monken also needs to do a better job with play calling. I am not putting everything on him, but since John Harbaugh is stubborn and hard-headed, he needs to adjust. But running quick, short passes since our offensive line is bad and Lamar Jackson not being 100% again, I'm happy we won and us being at 6-5, but we still need to improve. Hey, that's exactly what we was talking about in that previous question. Ravens need to continue to improve. It's a good thing that they're winning, but you can still find things that you need to fix. He said, we need to improve if we're trying to do something in the playoffs. Otherwise, kiss the season goodbye. Even if we win a division and win the wild card round, but I want to show some love to the defense today. Even though we could not tackle to save ourselves unless you are Marlo and Draymond Jones, who got 2 sacks in his home debut, but still need us to find ways to get consistent pressure to the quarterback. And stop playing zone, but outside of that, shout out to Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears winning for us today. So now we are in first place, but that is all. I hope you and your other Ravens fans have a safe and lovely day. Enjoy your Sunday. Have a blessed time with your family, people. Even though I don't care much outside of food and football, and I hope that you guys enjoy your days. And Ravens beat the Bengals. But like how Pittsburgh Steelers took that L to the Chicago Bears, I'm out. Appreciate you, Gerald.
The flock flies to the wise, it's a wonderful thing. Look what vision and commitment and some discipline brings. When 8 becomes 1, the moon swings and the flock sings for another ring. Man, we tuning in to Ingravenvids, set that scene